Alright guys, so I finally got around to getting Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match on 4K. And quick note here for a second. When I picked this up, I was pleasantly surprised that it well it won't render it here, but it doesn't have a Blu-ray. And because I'm getting sick of 4K Blu-ray combos. Cause like why not just put everything on a 4K disc? Because most people are gonna have, if you have 4K TV, most people are gonna have 4K players or like a PS5 at least. I don't know. I just think it's annoying that they do that. But this only came out on 4K, and it actually has the 100th anniversary Warner Brothers sticker on the slipcover, which is kind of cool. But another quick note before I get into spoilers about the movie. So if you don't want to hear anything spoiler wise about the movie, click off the video now and or soon, and then come back and watch it or watch this video because I will get into spoiler territory. So just be forewarned. But the other thing that kind of disappointed me about the release of the movie is that it did not have a steelbook. And yes, I know I've heard the rumors about Best Buy getting out of the physical media market, but I still would have liked this to have had some kind of steelbook. So hopefully someone like makes a custom steelbook to go with the other steelbooks I have, because it just doesn't look right on my media shelf that every other one has either the special edition Scorpion figure with the steelbook inside and the rest of the steelbooks, and this just has a standard slipcover. So that's my only gripe about the release of it. Like, I wish it would have had a steelbook. But other than that, like, the movie itself, holy. I'm not going to mince my words. So if you have kids, and because the really, before I start, you shouldn't be watching any of these Mortal Kombat movies with kids. They're very violent. There's a lot of F words and curse words. So do not watch this with children. But I do want to say this. This movie was fucking amazing. Like, Joel McHale as Johnny Cage is like, he's fucking phenomenal as Johnny Cage. I love his performance so goddamn much. It was so spot on perfect. Just like in the other two movies he was in. Because I believe he was in um, Battle for the Realms. I'm pretty sure he was in the second movie. I'm almost positive he wasn't in Snowblind. I don't remember, but I haven't, because I haven't watched the first two, like the first three in a while. But like, holy crap, just his performance alone made this movie so fucking good, because he captures Johnny Cage's vainness and like bravado so fucking well. It's fucking outstanding, and I can't wait to go to this convention in December because he is supposed to be there. Hopefully he doesn't cancel, because I really want to get this signed and tell him that he was fucking amazing as Johnny Cage in this movie. Like, literally, and that's the exact words I'm going to use if there's no kids around. If there's kids around, I'll mince my words, but I will tell him that to his face, because like, he will one be grateful that I loved it that much, hopefully, and two, like, I feel like he probably should have been cast as Johnny Cage in like MK1, but I think this came out a little bit after MK1 was like done being voiced and everything. But like, his performance as Johnny Cage is fucking great. But enough gushing about Joel McHale, but like, just his performance was freaking great. But the story, the story and the lore that they did with Johnny in this movie was actually really fucking cool. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be like a really fun movie to watch, and surprisingly enough, when I watched the movie, my wife actually watched this movie with me and like really got into it. So like, maybe she's starting to warm up to Mortal Kombat and the violence and stuff. Cause like, I was really surprised by that. Like she was actually sitting right next to me, and we were eating dinner together, watching it, and it was nice to like just chill and watch this with someone. I didn't expect to like my wife to want to like get into this movie, but she really did, and it was pretty cool. Um, but anyway, to get back to the story, like it basically centers around Johnny and his movie career, like the early iterations of his movie career. The his first like B movie. I believe they kept calling it like a D movie, but it was called Ninja Mime, and he played a ninja mime. Like a mime that was like a ninja and like a I'm guessing like some kind of secret agent or something because he was like going after this like thug or robber or something, and he was like a mime and he was like barely talking, just beating the crap out of this dude. And then he said he was supposed to say some stupid line, but he changed it. And the director was all pissed that he changed it. And Johnny was like, "No, I like that line better. It works." And something. And then he goes into a trailer, and you get to meet his um, assistant guy. I forget what his name was. Hold on, let me go look up his name. I can't remember his name. You think I remember his name because I just watched it like a few hours ago. Okay, I would have been right. I should have just went my gut. I was right. His agent's name was Chuck. Anyway, so you get to meet his agent Chuck. It's like this younger. They they call him a kid, but like I think to Johnny he's a kid, but he's probably more like 17, maybe 18. So he's technically a young adult, I guess. But he's kind of a bumbling kind of super fan slash agent of Johnny and like assistant of Johnny. So like I shouldn't say agent because he has an actual agent, which I'll get to him in a second. But he's kind of a bumbling person, but he kind of has a good big pivotal role later on in the movie, and I'll get to that in a second. And they're looking for his main lead star, or in Johnny's mind, the co-star, which is really not true. He's he's the way they were framing it is he was the co-star and she was the main lead, and it was the actress. What was her name? I have the list. Do 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 do. Jennifer Grey. I don't know her from anything. I didn't really recognize her. Her like I knew it was supposed to be an actress, like a real actress, but I don't know Jennifer Grey from anything as far as I know. So I'm not too sure if I do or not. I didn't look her up, so I don't know if I do or not. But if I do, I didn't recognize her voice. But but that's who they're looking for. So he goes to her mansion and like beep tries to get beeped in, and she doesn't answer. So he climbs the gate, basically breaks in, I guess. But I guess he kind of knows her, like in the MK universe, I guess. So he goes in there and he hears two women fighting, and he opens the door, the double doors, and it's Ashra. And if you're an MK fan, you'll know who Ashra is. She's like a demon, that's trying to convert and be like, uh, basically basically be good. She's good in the new like MK universe. And I think in MK Deception, she was like technically evil, but in like MK1, she's like trying to be good and like redeem herself. But she's trying to get this scroll from what was that? It was a Brother of Shadow chick. I don't remember her name exactly. It was something weird. And I don't know if I look at the list of characters, it'll I think it might have been Kia, if I remember right. I could be wrong. It might have been Kia, and they were fighting, and eventually, like Johnny gets a hold of the scroll. He takes the scroll. Um, there's a big car chase. Eventually, he gets the scroll. He jumps in the car that Ashra steals. Eventually, after like speeding on with a bus, like that scene's crazy. It's nuts. Um, he steals the scroll. He Ashra. There's a scene that really confused my wife and I because my wife knows a little bit about Mortal Kombat, and she knows some of the characters just because of association by watching me play the games and stuff. But there was one part where um she goes and she's like, I lost the scroll, and then you just hear a voice say, well, you can, where is it, where is it, who has it? And then she explains, somebody named Johnny Cage. And then the mysterious voice walks out, and it's freaking Raiden, like the Thunder God Raiden. And I'm like, okay, Raiden's in this movie, cool. So, well, he's like, Johnny Cage is more important than we probably know or think or something like that. And I'm like, cool. So so Raiden's gonna play a part later on because I kind of knew some of the movie a little bit, but I didn't look up too much into it. I just looked at the cast list and stuff, so I kind of knew some characters that were gonna be in it, but because I knew Raiden was in it, but I didn't know to what extent. But after that, it flashes to him, to Johnny going back to his agent. But let me back up a little bit and talk about Raiden. That one scene I just mentioned, that's the only mention of Lord Raiden you ever see in the entire fucking movie. Which my wife and I were like, she was like, "Where's Raiden at? What, like, why isn't he doing stuff?" Like towards the end of the movie, I'm not gonna get there yet, but towards the end of the movie, during the parts where you think he'd show up, he literally doesn't fucking show up. He's in that one scene and that's it. And I feel like he was underutilized in this movie. Like he could have like pep. Let me get all choked up, man. Um, but no, that's because my something's wrong with my voice. I have no idea what's wrong with my voice. Like I lost my voice like a week ago and it hasn't came back yet. I feel fine, but like my voice is like gone for some reason. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. But anyway, but he doesn't come back in places where you think he would during the final battle of the movie. He doesn't show up or give any indication to Johnny that Johnny has some special abilities, which I'll get into in a second. But or I'll get into when he figures it out, like in a little bit, because I don't want to spoil that because that's like way towards the end of the movie. So he goes back. Hold on, excuse me for a second. All right, sorry about that. But anyway, there's one scene I forgot to mention that I'll get to in a second. So when he has the scroll, he goes to his agent, who was voiced by the late great Gilbert Gottfried. This is probably one of the last things Gilbert Gottfried did for any role of anything. So it was kind of cool to see him in like a Mortal Kombat movie, but also kind of sad at the same time because he's sadly passed. And I love Gilbert. He seemed like a super cool guy. I would have loved to have met him because he seems super nice and super friendly. And I know he's had some controversy with the Japan tsunami and all that stuff. He made the joke and all that, but like move past that and stuff and don't think about that. But as as a comedian, as an actor and person, I think overall he was a good dude, and it was cool to see his one of his final roles be a Mortal Kombat movie. And by the way, at the end credits, they did dedicate this to Gilbert, so that was really sweet of Warner Brothers to do that. So anyway, he goes to his agent, is like talking about movies and his movies career and all that stuff, and then talking about the scroll he found. And then his agent starts getting super weird. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do my Gilbert Gottfried impression. And Gilbert, I don't mean any disrespect. I just like love your loud voice. He's like, give me the fucking scroll. And Johnny's like, why do you want the scroll? He's like, just give me the fucking scroll. And like he's really adamant about it. He's like, you're not getting the scroll and F you and you're not in charge of my career, you're fired. He throws the script at him that he had. And like then the agent just goes like fucking crazy and starts like just beating the everyone shit out of Johnny and eventually like he reveals himself to be the agent was really a demon from like the Nether realm. If you don't know Mortal Kombat and know what I'm talking about, like I would recommend playing like MKX at least because it kind of references and kind of takes liberties of MKX. So if you don't know Mortal Kombat a lot of these references you're not really gonna understand. So there is that. But anyway, like he morphs into this demon. He's like, "Ugh, yeah, everyone in Hollywood is so I rule this part of town or whatever." I forget what he said, but Charlie's like, "What the fuck?" It was hilarious. He was like, "Oh my god." He literally kicks him out the window and then like demon's falling and he falls on this like giant statue. He gets impaled and just like and then Johnny like runs down. He's like, ah, he's fine. Then like the demon just like fucking catches fire. It's like, yeah, see, I told you, he's fine. Like, there's a lot of funny comedic moments that Joel does so good with delivering. It's freaking great. But the scene I forgot to mention, when they're driving to Jennifer Grey's house or mansion, his assistant asked like his backstory and how he got so cool and learned martial arts. Well, they actually kind of go a little bit into that Johnny was bullied as a kid and he wanted to, his mom was sick of him getting beat up, so she signed him up for karate classes with his now master, Master Boyd. And they've always mentioned Master Boyd before. And like in the old movie, and I believe in some of the Mortal Kombat games, they've mentioned like Master Boyd at some point. I believe because I recognize the name from at least the original 1995 movie. I'm pretty sure I got the year right on that. The first original movie from the 90s. I know they mentioned Master Boyd. I think. Um, but that was kind of cool to see like teenage Johnny get trained and learn to defend himself, and then stood up to the bullies. Like this is the other part I found kind of extreme. Like he the bully that usually beats him up, he throws like a basketball or dodgeball or something, and like Johnny ducks it, and it like hits the gym teacher, and then the bully gets pissed, goes up to Johnny, like tries to like fight him, and Johnny just like blocks everything, takes the kid's arm, literally like fucking like breaks his damn arm, and like blood like he literally blood is like pouring out his arm because his bone like goes through his arm. I was like, damn. I was like, there's no way a kid like at 14 or whatever he was would be able just to break someone's arm like that and have like blood squirt out. And he's like, oh, I got like expelled. Like, no, you bitch, you would have been like arrested for that. Like, Jesus Christ. I thought that was a little over the top, but like, other than that, the little backstory there with that was kind of cool. But like, I was just like, yeah, you wouldn't be able to shatter someone's arm like that. I don't think. Like, not to that extent. I know it's possible to like have bone like poke through your skin like that, but like I don't think a kid his size would be able to like just freaking totally shatter someone's arm to the point where their like bone sticks to their arm and like blood squirts out. Like it was neat, but I was like, damn, that was kind of brutal for like a middle school slash high school, junior high type thing. But anyway, going back to the whole demon agent thing. So then Johnny's like, okay, I gotta go get this scroll translated. So his assistant knows Greek, and he's like, it's some kind of spell. And then Ashra joins up with Johnny and is like, I need to help you stop Shinnok. And he's like, who's Shinnok? And then Shadow explained that the Brotherhood of Shadow was trying to revive Shinnok, and that Jennifer Grey wasn't who she seemed to be. And then like he was like, "What do you mean?" And then like they find because originally he thought she was kidnapped by the Brotherhood of Shadow, but it turns out that she is part of the Brotherhood of Shadow because they eventually kidnap Johnny, um, and they because they need a blood sacrifice. They need to like draw his blood from because he has like latent god like blood, like god lineage, which they allude to that in MKX as well. That's why I said if you play MKX, you'll kind of know what the hell this is referencing because it kind of references that, and they don't really go in too deep with it, but because they even mentioned in one of the behind the scenes things that they wanted to do more with that, but they didn't. But I really wish they would have because they, as far as I know, they don't really explain why, like, what Johnny's lineage is with like the green flame and the green shadow, like kick and stuff like that. His green aura stuff that he has. If you guys know Mortal Kombat, you know what I'm talking about. From like MKX and MK11 and older MKs. Um, so like he does it at one point and he doesn't know what it is. He's like, "What was that?" Because he like does like a I'm gonna make a Dragon Ball reference here, but it's apt. He does like an Ultra Instinct like dodge to where like it's just him moving out of the way of like um was it I think it was Shinnok at that point. Yeah, it was after they do the blood ceremony and Shinnok gets revived out of the Nether Realm, and like he just does it, and he's like, "What was that?" And then like he realizes when he's getting the shit beat out of him that by Shinnok, that with all this bravado he has for himself, and that he keeps saying like WWJCD or whatever. What would Johnny Cage do? Like literally, that's what he says to like everybody, and he's like, maybe I am like special and everything, and that's when like he kind of unlocks that the power or like what it, I don't even know what it is. Like that's what I mean. Like I wish they would have explained it more because I don't even think in MKX they really did. The only thing they did in MKX to like explain it was like if his family's in trouble, he can like summon it that way, but like it's only like a fight or flight response thing in the MKX universe at least. So I'm not really sure like what they could have done better with um cage match, but like I feel like they just could have done more. And like I said, Raiden doesn't even show up ever again, and that was really freaking weird to me. Cause like Raiden could have said like, you have a hidden power within you because of your lineage of blah 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 whatever, and they could have explained it, but they didn't, and I don't understand why. And the movie's fairly short; it was only 80 minutes long, so like I feel like this was kind of a cash grab in a way. Like it was good, but to a point. Like I almost wish they would have like dove into Johnny's like the origins of his power and stuff like that. But one other thing I want to mention that is kind of minuscule, but kind of evident in the movie as as well. But I didn't want to focus too much on it because it's not a huge deal. But if you are like an '80s baby at all, and like '80s music and '80s vibe and all the neon colors and like pastel colors and stuff like that, you will love the art style of this movie and the aesthetic of the movie because it is very 80s nostalgia, like drip heavy. Like it takes place in the 80s during like Christmas, I believe. So, yeah, it's a very 80s heavy driven movie. And that I like that because I'm a late 80s baby and I grew up listening to a lot of 80s, well, pretty much a lot of decades music, but I really do like 80s pop and stuff like that, like Prince and stuff. They mention Prince, but they don't mention him, but he makes a reference to Party Like It's 1999. And he's like, you know what I'm talking about. And they also do like these like Paul's monologue things where Johnny's like, "Yep, that's me," and blah 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 blah. They do it a couple times. It's not super intrusive, but I want to let you guys know that kind of stuff is in there. So if that gets on your nerves, just know it's in there. It's not too bad. It actually works because it's pretty funny. Because Joel does such a good job as Johnny Cage. So overall, the movie ends with him beating Shinnok and like him like having a successful movie career, then becoming like a washed up celebrity in the tabloids' eyes, and then at the end, he says, "I'm not through yet," and then like he drives off, and his license plate says "Real Hero" instead of just Cage. So like, I feel like they're leaving it open for like another Johnny Cage movie or something like that. I have no idea. But in the extras, they made it seem like they wanted to do more with the MK Legends property. So maybe there's going to be more movies after this. I I kind of think four is enough though. Like I don't see what else they could do with it. Like maybe a Sub Zero origin movie or something. But like I really don't know what else they could do. Like animation wise with Mortal Kombat. Because don't get me wrong, like the Legends series of movies are really freaking good from what I remember. Scorpion's Revenge was really good. The Battle for the Realms, I almost said Defender of the Realms, the cartoon. Not that for the love of God. But Battle for the Realms, that was really good. Snowblind was, I would say that's still my favorite because they did really good with Kenshi's backstory with that. But this is a close thing. They did really good with casting Joel McHale for one, and he does really good in it. And just the overall aesthetic of it, the '80s vibe, and the soundtrack of the movie was super good. I really enjoyed it, and I think any Mortal Kombat fan, if you're diehard like I am, you will probably enjoy this movie. So overall, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Like it's good. There's some issues with it, but like it's still a fun movie. And like I said, I'm really shocked and surprised. My wife actually got into it with me. Um, but she was really getting into it. She was like, "Damn, dude, did you see what he did?" I was like, "Shit, she's really getting into this." It put a smile on my face to see her really getting like wrapped up into this Mortal Kombat universe. So hopefully this like opens her eyes a little bit to how cool Mortal Kombat actually is. She actually does know a little bit about it. I shouldn't say she doesn't know some about it, but like just seeing her get into it was really neat, and I really did enjoy that. So yeah, if you have someone to watch it with that's like your spouse or your brother, your sister, anyone that's into Mortal Kombat or knows a little bit about it, watch it with somebody. It's a really fun movie to watch with somebody. It's a fun movie in general, altogether. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Patreon supporters, for supporting the channel. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have bought any of the Legends movies. Now, I did not use Patreon money to buy this movie. I sold some of my other movies that I didn't watch anymore or need anymore to buy this. So that's how I got this movie. So, but anyway, guys, it really does mean a lot to me when you guys help at the channel and support me. So if you want to support me and see more movie reviews and stuff like that, let me know in the comments below and support me on Patreon because it would really help out getting cool movies like that. Or if you guys want to recommend me some movies to do videos on in the future, because like I said in my community post, if you guys didn't see it, I do plan to do a second channel. Yes, yes, I do plan to do one. Talking to my brother, I know you think it's a bad idea, but I know I can handle this. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. So I hope you guys will support my new venture. I'll do a video talking about that at some point later on this year. Probably when it gets closer to me wanting to do it. I'm going to do this whole thing that I have planned starting next year. I'll dive more into it later on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go check this out. It's on Blu-ray and 4K. No DVD. So you do have to have a Blu-ray player, but I'm pretty sure most people have Blu-ray players nowadays. So if you want to watch it, it's also probably on some streaming service like HBO Max or Max, I should say, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But if you guys want to watch it, it's definitely worth a watch. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Peace.